The Midwest tour, the Twin City tour, extrude this, extruder tour.
Extrude that city?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway.
They'll come up eventually.
Hey everyone, it's Jake Clark here at Fargo 3D Printing. We're on site with Tyler Pope at 3D Printing Ally, and they do a lot of different cool stuff. So what do you guys do here? And behind us, you can see a 3D Systems machine. What do you guys do in the whole 3D printing market and industry?
We are a 3D printing service bureau. We make parts only. We don't sell any machines. We don't service any machines. We only make parts.
Okay, and how long have you been doing that?
We've been in business 3.5 years now. Started with the Fortis 400, the FDM machine, and then grew into the SLA and the SLS.
Okay, and what kind of got you started down this whole path of 3D printing and service bureau work? What really got you thinking about this sort of business model?
When I was in Kansas City, I was working as a manufacturing engineer and wasn't real happy with my job, so I started 3D printing in the evenings just for the fun of it. When MakerBot came out with that pre-assembled Replicator 1, I bought one. I had a CAD background, so I was able to do my own drawings and just kind of grew from there. Then my employer did me a favor, laid me off, and and the rest is history. So I just found some great partners up here in Minneapolis to start the business with.
Well, very cool. And I'm sure you like the Minnesota weather instead of the Kansas weather, especially in February.
Yeah. That's great.
So tell me a little bit what's behind us here. This is a big machine. What's type of process is this? Tell me about the machine as a whole.
So this is a 3D Systems SLA. It's a ProJet 7000 SD is the model on this one. So we have a 15 by 15 by 10 inch build envelope on this. So fairly large on SLA, but not by no means the largest. There are much bigger machines out there. And we can run two different materials on this. We can run the white impact material you see in here, and we have a secondary card over here, which is clear material. So we can swap those in and out for more versatility. This builds in 4,000th layer resolution, which is about 100 micron. And it does a really, really good job of very good surface finish, high detail, just overall big parts can be ran on this, segmented or as one piece. And it's a really good machine for large parts that need good surface finish.
And as far as the usability, so can you actually take parts right off of this machine and go right into a final product stage, or is this more of specifically for R&D?
We do both. In this town, medical devices are big, so it's a lot of test fitments and making sure everything's perfect before they go to mold, so it's more of an R&D. But we also do a lot of stuff for a company that's building museum pieces for a new museum in Kuwait. So we've done very large builds like dogs and birds and snakes and all kinds of stuff that's just going to go over and get painted once we're done with it. So that is an end-use part. So it can be both.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about the accuracy of this type of machine compared to like the desktop units that are out there today.
So these are laser-based machines. We have a UV laser up top, and wherever the laser hits on the vat of liquid is where it cures. So we have a very fine point of printing. So we get finer details that way. Layer adhesion is a lot better on these because the over-cure from one layer does cure onto the next one instead of hot plastic just laying on top of room temperature plastic. So we're better off on strength in X, Y, and Z. And then just overall detail level, because it is laser-based, we can do those fine little details that an extrusion machine just can't handle.
Okay, and then compare this to like a Formlabs or a Noble or one of the desktop SLA DLP machines. What does this have as an advantage over like one of those machines?
Those machines are really coming along really nice for detail level, for overall quality, and materials too. Formlabs has done a great job with the materials they have to offer. But throughput on these is with a bigger machine. We can produce more parts overnight unmanned, completely lights out, than the smaller machines. We have a very big production job we're looking at. We did look into would the smaller machines work, but it turns out we would need, I think, 20 small machines running around the clock where we only need 2 of the larger machines. So it's kind of a throughput thing more than anything.
Okay. And can you dive more into the technicalities of the different materials? Because I know you said this one uses 2 materials. Is there more materials that can be utilized with this type of machine?
On the 3D Systems line of machines, on the ProJets, they have you locked in with RFID materials. So I think they have like 10 or 12 different materials, and it really depends on what it is you're trying to do. The most general materials are clear. Medical device love the clear material, and some of the white materials. Our impact material is really good for fairly durable parts and ABS-like material. We also have a material called Flex that does better for snap fits and that kind of thing. So it depends on what you're going after, but being a service bureau, we need to find a material that really suits a lot of different needs. So a black material or a jewel or something like that wouldn't be great in the service bureau type, unless you had a customer that just wanted that.
Okay. What's one of the more unique parts that you mentioned the snakes and birds and things, that's something that you wouldn't really think of. Yeah. What's some of the more unique stuff that you can kind of share that you've printed?
The animals have got to be the most unique thing we've done. We've done very, very large animals, very large birds. We have to segment some of them up into 12 to 15 pieces to get them to fit on the machine, and then we assemble them afterwards. So that's an area that we never thought was going to be part of our business, but it's now a huge part of it. And it's not just this one project. They're finding that 3D printing is helping them get to a paint-ready model much faster than traditional mold or model making. And it keeps their people focused on what they do best, and that's the fine details. So it's and then the CAD modeling, they're learning that they're finding the right expertise, they're finding the right software, and they're kind of morphing into this whole the utilizing the technology for So it's been a really good experience for both of us.
And so you have a CAD background. So what CAD softwares do you guys utilize here, mostly for file prep or for post-processing of any sort?
So we use we tied Onshape into our quote system. So we use Onshape a lot for the solid files and modifying them, fixing them, merging them, that kind of thing. And then we can quickly just quote right off through an API. We use NetFab basically for fixing files, and we use some Geomagic software that for segmenting and that type of thing.
And you guys have a custom software actually on your website for quoting as well, correct?
That's a service out of Switzerland called FabNami, or not? Yeah. And they analyze the STL files for us and price that way. Yep.
Very cool. And that's something that I haven't really seen on a lot of the other service bureaus out there. I know, like for us, we do like 3D hubs, and we do some. Like if we have somebody come off the street, we can even hand quote it. And that, I'm sure, in your side of things, that gets very, very tedious if you have a lot of parts to go through. Is there anything else that you want to add about SLA in general, or just the kind of your background and history of the company?
SLA is a great technology if you've got enough parts to put through it. The cleaning process, it can be really, it's hazardous, so it's got some chemicals to it, and so it's not something you want to run every once in a while. So if you're going to go to SLA, you've got to be able to run it constantly, keep the material fresh, make the cleaning worth it. And so if you're not willing to invest that much time and space and everything into it, continue to use service bureaus, because companies like us, we have a lot of different technologies and a lot of different materials to choose from. You're not just locked into a few.
Well, perfect. Well, I appreciate you taking the time today to talk to us. We're actually going to go take a look at some other machines that you guys have here in the office. FDM, SLS, and then, yeah, I think that's really the main thing that we're going to cover today. So follow us on YouTube, subscribe to us, like our pages, and we'll have more of these type of interviews here shortly.